Welcome back to Port-au-Prince in Haiti. Wherever you go in this city, people come up to you with tales of desperation. They want to talk to you, just tell you their stories. Some of them want money, but all of them have an urgent plea to the international community. Now, I spoke to one local businessman, Joseph Aristak, who together with his 3-year-old son has been living on the streets of Haiti since last Tuesday when the earthquake struck. And what he had to tell me might have been said by just about everyone in this country. Listen. Have you seen any foreign aid workers?
No, nothing. We didn't see nothing.
Any Haitian aid workers?
No, any Haitian, only the people who live here.
Only the ordinary citizens, people like you?
Yeah.
That's all you've seen?
Yeah, I didn't see nobody.
So
no.
you're helping each other?
Yes, I help my families, he help his families, and anybody help his families. But we didn't see nobody to help us.
What about your house?
My house is bricks. We didn't have nothing.
The house is collapsed. Your business?
My business is bricks. I didn't have nothing. We didn't have nothing. We just stay here and sleep here. No food, no water, anything I say. No money, no anything to do.
What's your message to the rest of the world?
My message is you have to do something for us because it's going very bad.
President Obama has said that he will do everything he can to help the people of Haiti.
We wait for him because it's only that we wait.
You wait for him?
Help. We wait help.
Got the helicopters in the sky, lots of helicopters in the sky.
The helicopter is doing nothing for us. He just missed. He didn't see us. I told you that, Willie. He helped his family. I help my family. He helped his family. Nobody help us. We just stay and help yourself.
What's the future of your country?
I don't know. I don't know what my future is, my country, because you know that, because you have to help us. God and the world can help Haiti, because Haiti cannot help Haiti right now.
I'm sure the help's going to come in the next few days.
We're waiting. We're just waiting, only that we can wait.
And that was local businessman Joseph Aristak. Now, as you may have noticed, the plane from the US Coast Guard that was behind me at the beginning of the program has now left. It is bound to be replaced by another plane soon, taking a few very lucky people to places like the United States. But for every passenger on that plane, there are thousands of people in the city who have nowhere to go. And as I said earlier, the tales of desperation are really quite extraordinary. And what makes this crisis different to other crises like this that I've covered is that there's a total absence of a functioning government. And despite the goodwill of the international community, the logistical reality of Haiti is so difficult that to get this stuff here to the people there is going to be a particular challenge. That's all we have time for, I'm afraid. This has been a special edition of BBC World News America from Port-au-Prince in Haiti. The challenge for Haiti will be to pick itself up after this terrible disaster and to continue with some sort of life. That's it from me. Goodbye for now.
Emily Buchanan now with the latest.
Amidst the wrecked lives, one extraordinary tale of survival.
Whose baby? Your baby?
A team of journalists heard cries from the rubble. They found a 16-month-old girl, still alive after 3 days.
What's her name?
My name is Frei.
What's hers? Her baby.
Winnie.
Her parents had been crushed. An uncle had come to search for her. Winnie seems healthy. She's dehydrated but has escaped with just a few scratches.
Well, we're leaving that report from Emily Buchanan just a little early. We'll go back to it if we can before the end of this half hour, because 3 presidents there, President Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, lining up there outside the White House in the Rose Garden to tell the world how and what they, the United States, stroke the United Nations, are planning to do next for the people of Haiti.
And to deliver relief that averts an even larger catastrophe. The 2 leaders with me today will ensure that this is matched by a historic effort that extends beyond our government, because America has no greater resource than the strength and the compassion of the American people. We just met in the Oval Office, an office they both know well. And I'm pleased that President George W. Bush and President Bill Clinton have agreed to lead a major fundraising effort for relief, the Clinton-Bush Haiti Fund. On behalf of the American people, I want to thank both of you for returning to service and leading this urgent mission. This is a model that works. After the terrible tsunami in Asia, President Bush turned to President Clinton and the first President Bush to lead a similar fund. That effort raised substantial resources for the victims of that disaster, money that helped save lives, deliver aid, and rebuild communities. And that's exactly what the people of Haiti desperately need right now. Every day that goes by, we learn more about the horrifying scope of this catastrophe, destruction and suffering that defies comprehension. Entire communities buried under mountains of concrete, families sleeping in the streets, injured, desperate for care, many thousands feared dead. That's why thousands of American personnel, civilian and military, are on the scene working to distribute clean drinking water and food and medicine, and thousands of tons of emergency food supplies are arriving every day. It will be difficult. It is an enormous challenge to distribute this aid quickly and safely in a place that has suffered such destruction. That's what we're focused on now, working closely with our partners, the Haitian government, the United Nations, and many organizations and nations, friends from Argentina and France, from Dominican Republic and Brazil, and countries all around the world. And Secretary Hillary Clinton will be in Haiti today to meet with President Preval and continue our close coordination with his government. But we also know that our longer-term effort will not be measured in days and weeks. It'll be measured in months and even years. And that's why it's so important to enlist and sustain the support of the American people. That's why it's so important to have a point of coordination for all the support that extends beyond our government. Here at home, Presidents Bush and Clinton will help the American people to do their part, because responding to a disaster must be the work of all of us. Indeed, those wrenching scenes of devastation remind us not only of our common humanity, but also of our common responsibilities. This time of suffering can and must be a time of compassion. As the scope of the destruction became apparent, I spoke to each of these gentlemen, and they each asked the same simple question: how can I help? In the days ahead, they'll be asking everyone what they can do. Individuals, corporations, NGOs, and institutions. And I urge everyone who wants to help to visit www.clintonbushhaitifund.org. We're fortunate to have the service of these two leaders. President Bush led America's response to the Asian tsunami, aid and relief that prevented even greater loss of life in the months after that disaster. And his administration's efforts to fight against HIV/AIDS in Africa treated more than 10 million men, women, and children. As president, Bill Clinton helped restore democracy in Haiti. As a private citizen, he has helped to save the lives of millions of people around the world. And as the United Nations Special Envoy to Haiti, he understands intimately the daily struggles and needs of the Haitian people. And by coming together in this way, these two leaders send an unmistakable message to the people of Haiti and to the people of the world. In these difficult hours, America stands united. We stand united with the people of Haiti, who have shown such incredible resilience, and we will help them to recover and to rebuild. You know, yesterday we witnessed a small but remarkable display of that determination. Some of you may have seen it. Haitians, with little more than the clothes on their back, marched peacefully through a ruined neighborhood. And despite all their loss and all their suffering, they sang songs of faith and songs of hope. And these are the people we're called upon to help. Those are the hopes that we're committed to answering. That's why the three of us are standing together today. And with that, I would invite each president to say a few words. I'm going to start with President Bush.
I join President Obama in expressing my sympathy for the people of Haiti. I commend the President for his swift and timely response to the disaster. I am so pleased to answer the call to work alongside President Clinton to mobilize the compassion of the American people. Like most Americans, Laura and I have been following the television coverage from Haiti. Our hearts are broken when we see the scenes of little children struggling without a mom or a dad, or the bodies in the streets or the physical damage of the earthquake. The challenges down there are immense, but there's a lot of devoted people leading the relief effort. From government personnel who've deployed into the disaster zone to the faith-based groups that have made Haiti a calling. Most effective way for Americans to help the people of Haiti is to contribute money. That money will go to organizations on the ground and it'll be, who will be able to effectively spend it. I know a lot of people want to send blankets or water. Just send your cash. One of the things that President and I will do is to make sure your money is spent wisely. As the President Obama said, you can look us up on ClintonBushHaitiFund.org. Haitian people have got a tough journey. Yet it's amazing how terrible tragedies can bring out the best of the human spirit. We've all seen that firsthand when American citizens responded to the tsunami or to Katrina or to the earthquake in Pakistan. And President Clinton and I are going to work to tap that same spirit of giving to help our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean. Toward the end of my presidency, Laura made a trip down to Haiti to look at the emergency plan for AIDS relief programs down there. I remember clearly her coming back and telling me about the energy and optimism of the people of Haiti. There's just an unbelievable spirit amongst the Haitian people. And while that earthquake destroyed a lot, it didn't destroy their spirit. So the people of Haiti will recover and rebuild. And as they do, they know they'll have a friend in the United States of America. Mr. President, thank you for giving me the chance to serve. Thank you.
Thanks. Yep. First, I want to thank President Obama for asking President Bush and me to do this, and for what I believe has been a truly extraordinary response on the part of the American government. Because I've been working down there for nearly a year as the UN Special Envoy, I've been in constant touch with our people through the UN on the ground, and you know we lost a lot of our people there, the largest loss of life in the history of the United Nations on a single day. The United States has been there from the beginning. The military has been great. The response by the State Department and AID has been great. I just can't say enough about it. And the people in Haiti know it, and I'm grateful. Secondly, I'd like to thank President Bush for agreeing to do this and for the concern he showed for Haiti. You know, before this happened, my foundation worked with the PEPFAR people on the AIDS problems in Haiti, and I saw how good they were and what they did and how many lives they saved. Finally, let me say that I don't have to read the website because they did, but I want to say something about this. Right now, all we need to do is get food and medicine and water and a secure place for them to be. But when we start the rebuilding effort, we want to do what I did with the President's father in the tsunami area. We want to be a place where people can know their money will be well spent, where we will ensure the ongoing integrity of the process. And we want to stay with this over the long run. My job with the UN basically is not at all in conflict with this because I'm sort of the outside guy. My job is to work with the donor nations, the international agencies, the business people around the world to try to get them to invest there, the non-governmental organizations, the Haitian diaspora community. I believe before this earthquake, Haiti had the best chance in my lifetime to escape its history, a history that Hillary and I have shared a tiny part of.